2 students. There's always been another Katie. And for some reason, I've always taken it to heart. I've always taken it as a hit. I never get called Katie. Ever. Never in my life. Whenever there's more than one Katie, it's usually the sweet, pretty one gets Katie. And they're like, can we call you by your last name or something? Never. I've never gotten Katie. That's the only thing I'm like, why though? But that's it. I'm not bitter. Dude, Viata, that's how I feel. Like, if I have the option to be a fairy or an elf, I'm going to choose fairy or elf. I'm a human all the time. Like, I get this life.
The way is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Bitch, why? You're all going to die. Oh, you have to drink now? Sorry, Vissy. That's ironic. Are they in the right order? Yes. I don't know. I feel my name is too distinctive to use. I don't mind it. I just wouldn't use it, especially since I just told you all where I live. Yeah, that's another thing about being on the internet. No matter how much you try to hide your identity as a person like me, like a streamer, if people want to find you, they will, and it's creepy. They almost see it as a challenge. Was that a limerick? Maybe. Emma's your favorite? No shit. Eliza! Did you get my text? I was trying to tell people, we were talking about how to name characters in games. And I was saying how you and I will take other, like, a word and do it in another language. I figured you would come to chat and tell us, because it was for everybody. It's not just for me, yeah. I figured you would come and tell us, because I can't pronounce it. Wow, Eliza. Everybody can't type today. I kind of love it. Everybody's me today. Feels good, man. Hell yes. Why are you so sickly, though? What's happening, Vissy? Is it a head tumor? Don't worry. You'll successfully get it removed.
In Radiance, may we find victory.
I'm glad you liked Emma. That's very... I mean, it's flattering not only because Emma's a cunt and I almost can't stand to watch it, but because you're my friend. It's always, like, really flattering when friends of mine want to watch my content or actually enjoy it. My family can't. They say they cringe anytime they watch anything I do. They say it's not the real me, and it makes me sad. Because, like, it's arguably the realest me ever. Good job, Vissy. Excuse me. All right, Eliza, so what was your tune's name in ESO, and what did it mean? Because all I can say is schmersdy schmersy, and that is so wrong. Heyo, college football rivalry joke. Oh my god. Poor Columbus. What did I just watch? Oh, we watched Ready Player One last night, which is a movie I really like. And Zeke had never seen it. And, like, the biggest town in America is in Columbus, Ohio. It's pretty funny. Yes! Shri Des Schmerzy. Screams of pain or cries of pain. Yeah. Isn't that cool? And she was a fucking healer. I'm so glad you came in to tell everyone, Liza, because Schmerzy Schmerzy. I think every time I said her name in the game, I think I said something different, like Schmerdicken or something. I keep laughing my ass during the watch parties. I mean, there's some to be honest, it's pretty hilarious. It's just watching myself be a cunt that's hard for me. The shrooms, yep. Man, I miss the fun days. I don't miss ESO, but I miss the memories. Heal, cunt. Thank you.
Compassion
Gulps
is
down
a
grammar.
rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
I'm conflicted about grammar. It's such a man-made thing that was, like, peddled to schools, but also I enjoy grammar. No, Eliza. That's why I texted you, dude. No worries. No worries. There's dark humor. I mean, I cringe laugh at myself, honestly, like, I laugh too. There's funny moments that are just, especially with Brian, like Brian's character and his drunkenness, like, it's tragic and sad. You never want to laugh at an alcoholic, but he's pretty fucking hilarious. Like, painfully hilarious. I'd love to have a fire pit. I really want to landscape my yard, but I don't know how to do it, and hiring a landscaper is fucking expensive. So, I gotta look into that. Butterflaps and piss mittens are legendary. Seriously, though. There's so many things that came out of that show. CK was born out of that show. Cheers to CK. Oh my god, I can't. That was Theo. Domestic Dan is just such a beautiful actor to be role playing with because he takes things in such beautiful stride. Whereas when was slapped, I didn't even know what to do. I've never been slapped in an RP before, and Pax and I did not know each other from Adam, and that was a very weird experience, but I'm so glad it happened. So glad someone had the balls to hit me in a game.
A trifling victory.
It's
But a
contents
victory
unknown.
nonetheless.
Wash your piss mittens, seriously. Zelda Quinn, did you hear me telling people earlier that in New York City, people are only showering once a week on average now since COVID? Like
The
like
match
showering.
is struck. A blazing star is born.
That slap. Smack. It was just so beautiful. Everyone should join us in our rewatch. Oh yeah. So New York City reported their water usage numbers were really, really low. And so they researched why since COVID, because more people are at home, so you would think more home water was being used. Turns out people are just not bathing because they don't have to go anywhere. Like, they're not taught hygiene, they're taught be clean for other people, which is crazy. What? I mean, I don't wash my hair constantly, but at least every other day I take a nice rinsey poo, my lord. Yep, she knocked down on the ground and gasped. Yep. And that was pretty real. I didn't know what to do. It was awesome. Yeah, it was in New York City. And, like, you don't have to wash all the time, but there are... why? Why you gotta be so gross? It's almost... You just wonder, like, what else are people doing behind closed doors because they know no one's watching? Like, do people save their own shit or, like, stockpile used tampons or something? Like, how gross is it getting? Exactly. The thing is, there's probably people showering every day and then people showering once a month. And that's where we're getting our fucking average. Fingernails in a Why are you like this? Well, here's the thing. That's okay to a certain point, but you have natural bacteria just breeding like a farm on top of your skin all the time. And when you're like a clean, not covered in grimy person, it's not going to cause a problem because there's very little of them, but they will breed and build up over time, feeding on the dense skin and oil that's on your flesh all the time. And you get a cut, and now you're going to get gangrene and you're going to lose your dick. And those are facts. I've seen so many dicks fall off. I can't even tell you how many. It's crazy. We're dirty all on our own. We're arguably one of the dirtiest creatures on Earth, probably. Our mouths are pretty nasty. We're close to cats, I think, in, like, nasty. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Oh my god, crit! Yes, Lixie, that's my man. Woman, Thady. Are you a Thady? You get to choose. Doesn't really matter. These all are pretty asexual creatures. No matter where you get a cut, the dick goes off. For real, though, I've had countless patients who just didn't shower regularly, and they end up picking an ingrown hair on their balls, and they lose everything. Everything. It just goes black. It's horrifying even for me, and I've seen it many times. Oh, true. That's true. I mean... if you never get cut. Or you could just test it. Like, how evolved are you? Just fucking cut something off and see how long you live. Microbiology was the scariest class I ever took, Zelda. Ever. First day of micro, they had us all bring out a bunch of petri dishes with an auger on them. And we got to swab three things, anything we wanted, and culture it. And then we had to swab our hands, pre-wash, hot water, antibacterial soap, just to see the difference. And this one girl swabbed her cell phone, and she was one of those people who just wears way too much makeup, like caked, thick face makeup. And her skin fungus that had been growing inside her makeup bottle that she had been reapplying to her face for God knows how long had transferred to her phone case, and it grew over everyone else's petri dishes. So anyone else that put a petri dish in that incubator didn't get to see what they grew because her face fungus grew everywhere. Change your makeup every 3 months, people. Seriously. Cheers. I know, like, I just gotta give you shit. And that, kids, is what we call contamination. It was pretty gross. Seriously, like, I mean, you think about it, you've got all that natural flora and fauna on your flesh all the time, right? And if you're sticking your finger in a bottle, touching your skin, sticking your finger in a bottle, touching your skin, and then you close that bottle, you have made the world's... Tweep. Thank you, my love, for that host. You've made the world's most perfect anaerobic environment for all that shit to grow, and then you just put it back on your face over and over, and we wonder why we have an acne epidemic. My acne cleared up when I stopped wearing makeup. Not saying that would work for everybody, but it did. I know. It's just bizarre.
On its own.
Oh, Brandon, I love this game too. It's always fun. And it's even more fun when I get to name them after you guys. My face is so dominant, it grows on other people. Can you imagine? Oh no. Oh my god.
Made clear.
Nope. No. I mean, she was pretty embarrassed, but it was a really good lesson to the whole class about what happens with makeup. Mascara bottles, like, you think all this shit in your eyes, you just, like, put back in a mascara bottle where there's no oxygen and no sunlight, and so all those little bacteria just, like, breed. And then you put it back in your eye. Makeup's pretty foul. Like, back in the day, they had it better because they used, like, they would buy makeup and they would put it in their own containers, which they cleaned regularly. Nowadays, we all keep makeup around until it's, like, death and disorder, you know? Like, God forbid we have to go buy another mascara. I'm gonna get every ounce out of this bitch. Dude, I love horror movies, but honestly, microbiology is the most horrific thing I've ever experienced. Do you know how many people I've had to tell to wipe their phones with sanitizer in addition to washing their hands? So, when I went and got my Jeep the other night, I brought a tub of Clorox wipes, because I figure when we got there, it would be kind to Clorox everything down, because I had just driven the car 30 minutes, Zeke and I's hands were on everything. And I was sitting there in the car Cloroxing everything, and the salesman was, like, giggling at me. He's like, no one's ever done that. It's like, oh. I don't know. Felt wrong to give you COVID, man. I don't know. But like, everything in moderation. I don't want to dip my whole body in hand sanitizer. That's not healthy either, because then none of us get antibodies. But I'm not going to be the one to transfer COVID. Fuck that. I think I told you about this, CK, but one of my friends told me a story about when he was at a birthday party as a kid, and one of the other kids sucked on a helium tank, and his eyes exploded. Shut up. A real kid did that? Shut up. That's real. How did that even happen? I don't want to know. Ew. Suddenly my eyeballs hurt. Oh, that poor child.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won.
That is Final Destination shit. Like, that's shit you see on... Wow. I bet he didn't see that coming. But, shh.
Hallelujah.
And there's Eliza for us, lightening the mood.
Did you take your joy today? Never forget to take your joy, and I guarantee you'll be able to go as smooth as velvet.
Excellent reminder. Sarcastic has just reminded us. Any of you that take your evening joy, now is your time. Take it. Please. I finally got my big ball eating again. Had to resort to live feeding. Did you do live feeding? I've never had to do it, and it stresses me. My ball's been eating really well since I moved here, thankfully, but live feeding scares me. Eliza, evening joy. Final Destination gave me some serious fears of irrational shit, to be honest. Like, I think about roller coasters flying off the tracks all the time. Or, like, something shooting out of my PC and stabbing me in the neck and bleeding out alone in my living room. Fuck Final Destination. Good movies, though. Yes, please prevent the nighttime ambush. Dick fart. Thank you. Negative stress. What do we got? Plus 10 dodge. Bless it. I can never watch one of the Final Destination movies ever again. They really fucked me up. Or Intrusive Thoughts, right? Oh my god, that should be a game. Is it Final Destination or Intrusive Thoughts? I don't know. Did this come out of a movie? I will not drive. Nope, I won't drive behind a log truck. Yep. Same. Yeah, I'm so glad I'm not the only one. Thank you. Thank you, everyone in chat. Don't do what I did yesterday and take your joy too late. I hate that feeling. I don't end up too late, but the next morning I always end up feeling really sick. Like I have a flu. That would be an amazing YouTube series, actually. I'd be down. I'd watch it. I don't know if I could produce something like that. The talent. A random supply item. Remove a disease. Do any of you have a disease? I don't think so. You sick? Man, we have such a good team and we're really not getting hit, but that's okay. We'll do this one. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Slurm, how are you, love? Are you LGBTQIA+? I'm CLASSYKATIE. It's usually with an @ sign in front of it. Sometimes abbreviated as CK. Do I need to type it in chat? I won't drive behind trucks. Honestly, they don't drive well. I've driven across the country a couple times. Truckers are scary. They swerve and shit, and I realize they're probably exhausted. But fuck, dude, it's scary being a tiny car next to those people. No thanks. Intrusive Thoughts, honestly, when I saw one of the sequels to Final Destination in the movie theaters, I literally thought I was going to die the whole time. That's how I feel watching them. Like, I feel like it's going to happen to me. It's really hard for me to watch movies where I know something's bad is going to happen and the character in the movie acts like nothing's going to happen and they just do it. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong? I can't. It's a feeding trough and disgusting. I'm not going to touch that. That's going to hurt us. I'm not going to do it.
Such blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
Oh my god, Glut, he just narrated your butthole. How do you feel? Slurm, I'm pretty okay. Watch truck crash videos? Nah, I've seen them. I grew up in logger country, dude. That's just scary. You would not live next to one of them. Yelling and screaming. Seriously, that sales. I'm not even kidding you. I'm like, what in the fuck? Are they blind? Like, It bothers me. Me and my wife worry about my girlfriend or fiance because he is a coast-to-coast trucker. It's a really good job if you can handle the lifestyle. It pays really well and shit, but it can be really bad on your body. And can be dangerous. I mean, honestly, when you're the trucker, you're probably going to survive. But the little cars next to him, like, that's what I was and scared of. Oh, just playing. I get it all the time. All the time. It's like the only dig these days. I don't know what it is. All the time. I'm running out of snarky comments back because I'm just tired. It's just... Who gives a fuck unless you are gonna fuck me?
With loot.
And you're not!
Often low on supplies.
Fuck off. Really, Brandon? Most of the older truckers I know, their wives actually just retire and end up going with them. And just, like, living in the truck with them. The number of times people in cars think the truck they're cutting off... Oh, I can't. I used to... Where I grew up, you had to go across a really narrow bridge. And people would give these giant log trucks no room. And I'm like, you're gonna die. It doesn't matter how much room you give them. You lose. You know that, right? I know, I would like an interesting scrolling, please. It'd be cool to be able to see how many channels someone's banned from. I wish. Sometimes I look at my ban list just to remember who we've banned. Because, I mean, it's so far and in between that we get someone, like, we seriously hard have to ban, you know? I'll be like, oh, I remember that one. Yeah, maybe that one. Those people didn't pay attention in physics class. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't get a physics class till my 4th year of college.
Killing blow.
Eliza, we're gonna do that when you visit, and then we're reading the unban request, because that's just gonna be fucking fabulous.
A death by
See, and
inches.
that's what my dad taught me how to drive, and he always taught me, be a defensive driver. Like, weigh your options. You're not gonna win amongst all these trucks. Let them go. They're going so fast, they're never gonna be able to stop. It's not their fault if they hit you. Get the fuck out of the way. So I just treat, that's my life. I get the fuck out of the way. They're doing a harder job than me. We have so many unban requests, and honestly, I didn't go through them because Eliza had the idea to read them out loud. I was like, oh yeah. But, I mean, from what I've heard from the mods, they're pretty fucking terrible. I've had people stalk me to another channel where I'm, like, a viewer and start begging me to unban them. Like, that's... I'm pretty sure I don't have to tell you guys that, but that's really inappropriate. Super inappropriate. Had an announcement by the police recently. Please don't cut trucks off. Their emergency brake systems make their brake immediately and lead drivers to turn them off, which is even more dangerous. Well, what would happen if they braked immediately? Would they just, like, fly through their windshield? That's terrifying. Most are, what the fuck did I do? Which is crazy because most people only get banned here for saying some horrible racial slur. How do you not know what you did?
Be gone, fiend. Remind yourself that overconfidence.
Yeah, that's what
is
I'm thinking.
slow and
I mean,
insidious
seatbelts,
killer.
but your head is not held back by a seat. Like, your neck is arguably one of the most delicate parts of your whole body. Your neck is gonna, depending on how fast you were going. Ooh. I've done a pretty hard stop in a car, and that's wild. Nah, but on the Autobahn, there's people behind them, too. Really? You'd think people going on the Autobahn would know better. Like, I'm fucking American and I know what the Autobahn is. Come on. That being said, I did drive on it, which was terrifying. Did we fight barely anything? What the fuck? That was easy.
Impossible.
I had someone trying to request me to unban them because they were only trying to get me to say I was retarded. I hate it. I hate that word. And I'm totally forgiving. Everybody lets it slip once in a while. It's intention over whatever, you know? Like, when I grew up, saying everything was gay and retarded was like the thing. And trying to rewrite your own dialogue is hard. I hate it though. That word has no place in the English language other than science, maybe. Like the reaction is retarding or something. Like that's it. Oh, it's battle. What perfect timing. You have too much faith in humanity. You guys give me faith in humanity. It's all of you. Honestly, like, every time we make a new friend in chat, I'm like, I get a little faith. Because I'm pretty forthcoming with my shit, you know. How are you, Ham?
A fresh
Thank you for that resub, my love.
A sanguine memory to me.
Seriously, I love you guys. Just the talks we have every day gives me hope in humanity. Because you guys can't be the only ones. It's impossible. Ginger Chris, our chat is pretty awesome, and there's got to be more. You know, all of you have families, and I imagine most of you can't hang out with your husband or wife if they didn't think at least mildly similar, you know? Yes, Brandon, I've said it many times. When a comedian can make me